I don't want to make you any louder than you already are. Iggy, look at her.
Still Iggy to
She's so, oh my God. So I know I've said this before and I don't care. I'm going to keep saying it. When Rachel leaves, she stands at the door and just stares into the abyss.
Do you do the same thing?
Just like this.
Yeah. You just sit there and...
No, Rachel does the same thing to me.
Miss her.
And she would say that. She'd be like, absolutely, I do.
Love it.
Okay, hang on. How are you feeling about the transition of these microphone stands?
I think they're
Positively
good.
or negatively?
Yeah, I think they're good. We're not crashing into each other anymore.
That's actually true. And I do think they're a lower profile, so they look a little bit nicer. Also,
yeah, they're not taking up
I'm just
as much
going to do like stream of consciousness intro, and you're going to have to get over it. I wore this shirt to an event. Viewers at home, listeners at home who are not viewers, I live in a oversized button down when it gets hot outside. Just because I want to, and I wear them a lot at work. Hang on, I'm adjusting myself. I wear them a lot at work.
Well, that's that Diet Coke. Holy
I know.
cow.
The only thing I'm thinking about right now is this Diet Coke next to me. And I wear oversized button downs a lot at work because I have a clock at corporate America job, and
Girl boss
I wish, and it just makes the most sense. But I went to an event when I was in Hawaii a couple weeks ago. I put this shirt on, and I don't know what had happened in the washer, but like the path where these two buttons meet was like so relaxed that when I put the shirt on, it literally was hanging like this, like a shirt ussy open like this. And I had to email a woman on the client team, and I was like, bitch, please tell me you have a safety pin. And she was like, and I told her what was going on my professional work email. I was like, girl, and she was like, I absolutely have you covered. And she saw me she saw me in the ballroom, and she like slipped me that safety pin that was like this long. I'm like, don't know how she was able to fly with it. Like humongous.
Yeah, that's a weapon.
And she was like, I have these literally for that exact purpose for all of my button downs.
Hell yeah.
Bless you, my child. Also, in a similar vein, I forgot to take tampons to work today. And so then when I got to the bathroom, I was like, oh, it's noon, time to change my tampon. I was like, fuck, I don't have any. And a bunch of the women at work have just been stockpiling them in the corner of the bathroom.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. And there's a girl in my office who has like an IUD, so she like never has a period anymore. And there's a couple of women who have gone through menopause, and they're just bringing in things. Like it's like literally like an altar in the corner to a menstrual cycle.
Hell yeah.
It's awesome. It's a women supporting women out here. For real, for real. We do love to see it. Also, Iggy is a skinny legend and no one can tell me otherwise. Iggy last week was diagnosed with hypothyroidism. Yeah, because it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Which is why she really do be Thickums McGee, as Rachel loves to call her. And so she's been taking her medication, and she's been doing so good, and no one, including me, is giving her table food anymore, even though it's so cute when she eats table food. But I'm not doing it because she's on a diet. And
Otis gets the last bite of almost everything I eat, as long as it's safe.
He looks like he's gotten the last bite of almost everything you've eaten.
Listen, I want him to live happy. I want him to live happy.
That's fair.
Honestly.
That's totally fair.
Usually that means like licking the plate off, just so you can get a little bit of the flavor or whatever.
Sure. If Iggy didn't have such a hard time breathing, it would be a different story. But Rachel's like, well, we have to worry about pressure on her joints and the fact that she's not breathing well. And I was like, that's fair.
That's fair.
That's fair, I guess. I think that's like totally fine actually at that point. But she's slimming down. I know it's only been a week, and maybe it's a placebo for your owner / your owner's landlord, but I think she's slimming down. Ig, do you feel like your quality of life has increased since you've been on Doggy Ozempic? Were you silent or were you silenced?
What? Yeah,
do you know what that's from?
She's like, I signed an NDA, so I can't speak on the matter.
After I was leaving the doctor's office.
I'm cutting this weight.
Do you know what you were silent or were you silenced? Do you know what that's from?
No.
It was an interview that Oprah Winfrey did with Meghan Markle and whatever the royal is that she married, because they like left the royal family. It was like a whole thing. Mm-hmm. And Oprah looks at her and goes, "Were you silent? Were you silenced?" People were like, "Ooh, yeah, exactly."
Oh, no, she didn't.
Oh, no, she better don't, for real.
Oh, no, she better don't. No, she better don't. Dude, turns out I fucking love Drag Race, by the way.
I knew you would. Because straight men fucking love competition.
I just want to get,
and people being mean.
I kept calling that shit too. Every time one of the girls was going to get voted
I'd
off,
be like,
I
all
was
right, Eli,
fucking
who's
right.
going home? And he was like,
every time.
Okay, for the listener at home, we're watching the season 6 with Laganja, Milk,
Adore.
Bianca Del Rio, Adore, all of those girls. That's the season that I'm making Eli watch because it is such a good season.
You're allowing Eli to watch.
I know, I guess that's fair.
Because I don't have Peacock.
Literally every season, I'm like, all right, or every episode, I'm like, all right, Eli, who's top and who's bottom? And he's like, well, and I also knew you would like it too, and he gets it right every time. And I also knew you would like it because you're a sports person, and sports people are like to keep track of statistics typically.
Yeah.
And in Drag Race, there's like a whole like conversation about, well, this person's won this many challenges, this person was in the top this many times, this person's had to lip sync for their life this many times. Like, it is a game. It is like, it's not a sport, but it is a game. It is reality TV competition style.
Yeah, but it also...
Straight men love that shit.
It has a massive element of performance art, and that's my
Also
shit,
true.
dude.
That's
it's like
also
watching two girls like lip sync for their life. I haven't gotten it wrong once.
Oh,
I'm like,
true.
I know what they're looking for with this song. I know what this song is
Do you
like
know who's
asking
gonna win?
for.
Who do you
No,
think's
I
gonna
have
win?
no idea.
Because the winner's on already, so obviously. So who do you think's gonna win?
What do you mean the winner's on?
Like, the winner is in the room with us, so... who
Well,
do you
the
think's
season
gonna
has happened already.
Right.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I think that there's a couple clear favorites.
win? Who do you think's... Who's your favorite, personally? I know your number one op was Milk, which is fair, and also, like, the correct opinion, Milk
got
sucks.
more tolerable with, I think, every episode.
Yeah.
It was just
Took
when...
your eyes a minute to adjust.
When she came out, she had the
gap.
intentional gap in the teeth and looked not that if you have a gap in your teeth, there's nothing wrong with that, but this was like a jarringly large fake gap along with like the eyes and the hair and the nose and everything. It startled me legitimately. I was like, this isn't like, what are you doing here? I love, so Bianca we're just going to make this the whole podcast.
Fine with me.
We'll go past this real quick, but Bianca Del Rio.
Wait, do you want me to do the intro first and we can keep talking about
No,
Drag Race?
this isn't part of the actual podcast. We'll actually get into the shit. So skip ahead 2 minutes if you don't want to hear this. Bianca Del Rio, I think, I love her, like, how she can so quickly switch back and forth between like being real childish and petty, but also giving like real good, legitimate advice. She reminds me a lot of like me as a teacher, how she can like roast, but also be like be the one who is be the one who is like super constructive.
Oh yeah,
and how she like got Trinity to come out of her shell and was like a little harsh, but this is what you need to hear. Yeah, you are not doing this correctly, but I believe that you can.
Yeah, and she goes, all I've been doing is encouraging this bitch. Yeah, and it is slightly mean, but it is true.
Yeah, but
she's building her up.
It still comes from a place of love, and it is more legitimate and real than anyone else is treating her. So like, love Bianca Del Rio. Also, she's funny as hell. Crushed the stand-up comedy. Oh, yeah. That was so good.
Oh yeah.
I like, who's the really pretty one? The Australian.
Oh, Courtney Act.
Courtney Act. I
hate
think
that bitch.
I think that she obviously does pretty really well. And relies on it a lot, but I think she's like talented and fun. Sure. And she's not gonna win.
I hate Courtney.
That's okay. She's not gonna win. I like. Wait, is Darian Lake still on at this point?
Darian Lake, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I've been rooting for her the entire time.
Yeah, true.
Because there's just the one like plus size girl on there. I think she's very funny. Yes. I also have, you can go ahead and laugh, but I'm realizing I have a bias towards the two older members, Bianca and Darian. I think they're both very funny, and they both have like a sense of like wisdom about them.
That's why you hate Adore. It's because she's so young.
Adore's just a fucking moron. She's an
fair.
Adoron.
No, totally fair.
And she keeps doing this thing with her teeth.
Yeah, she keeps doing like that horse mouth thing. What kills me, thinking about like the roast and stuff, is Adore in one of her talking heads is like, I love Bianca. She's everything I want to be when I'm 57.
That's funny.
Like,
that's really funny.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Bianca's still crushing it. I think Bianca, I'm forgetting who else is on there, which is probably
TKB, Miss Trinity K. Bonet.
No.
Laganja.
I like that Trinity. No, Laganja just got sent home.
True.
So that's where we're at for the people.
That's where we're at.
Home.
Yeah, we're at the
Laganja just got sent home
episode
and sashayed wonderfully away.
True.
But I think that let's see, Bianca. Who else is on there?
I think we got all the heavy
I love Trinity's growth, but she was such a pain in the ass early on.
True.
That it made it very difficult. I'm still like, okay, but like I would have sent her home 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, same.
Like it's great that she's making this growth now, and RuPaul has done a phenomenal job of like seeing that in her, which I would not have put up with it for this long.
No,
were I
Trinity's
running
so
this
annoying.
competition. If anyone's asking my opinion on Drag Race,
I am me.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm asking.
But I want Bianca to win. I think Adora's kind of gotten by a few times.
Sure.
I think she's gonna find a couple things down the road where she just like crushes it.
She, like,
I
locks
think
in.
she's easily top 3.
Yeah.
I really do. I think it's her, Bianca, and I think Trinity might just end up there.
Sure.
She might
like
just kind of
fail her way.
Ooze her way
top.
forward. That's
Yeah.
a weird way of saying that.
Sure. I'm trying to think if we missed anybody. But those are the standout. When I think about season 6, those are the girls I'm thinking of.
I think that tells me something.
Yeah. Well, because they stay, they've obviously stayed so far.
Whatever. Let's get into the episode. We've been yammering.
Okay. Welcome back to the Pyramid Guys, Gals, and Non-Binary Pals. My name is Amanda, and I am your host every single freaking week, except for the weeks that I'm not.
And I'm Eli, the dipshit participation trophy of co-hosts.
Participation.
That's
what we're sticking with. Somebody, I'm gonna get into the emails in just a second, but somebody sent an email shitting on me, and that was really dramatic.
Gross.
Somebody sent me an email being like, about how we need to get another dog. Listen, this is a callback
to get another dog.
Yes, this is a callback to the listeners who've been here since before I had a mental breakdown live on the internet. I should probably take that down because it is kind of embarrassing. But
I don't think it's embarrassing.
I think it's.
I mean, not to speak for you.
I think it's incredibly embarrassing. I might take it down today. Anyway, I used to in the intro. I used to say, like, welcome back to the Pyramid Guys, Gals, and Non-Binary Pals. My name is Amanda, and I am your host every single freaking week. If you can hear my cat in the background, it's because she has a bell on her collar and she's too cute for me to take it off.
Right.
There was something. I feel like there was something else in between those two things. Was it just that?
Tony, right in.
And then I used to say something because I was living in my parents' basement, and they had a dehumidifier in the basement apartment, and I used to make a comment about like, if you can hear it, sorry. And there's one.
I never could.
No, you literally never could. It was so loud on the microphones because these are multi-directional, but when it's compressed into an audio file, into a wave, you cannot hear it. Like, it was really never that serious.
There's one listener who's like, I listen with the super duper headphones, and I can hear it.
There's one episode with Jake where we talk about Drag Race. Like, that's all we talk about. It's like a bonus episode. And I turned the dehumidifier off because I was afraid that you could hear it. And over the course of the episode, you can listen to me and Jake literally getting sick. Ooh. Just from like the humidity in the air. And by the end, we're both like literally can't breathe. It's awful. Anyway, I do have a cat. She is
around somewhere.
Wait, she's usually upstairs.
They said you needed another dog, though.
Yeah, I would get a dog friend. I'm like, girl.
Maybe I'll bring Otis. I don't want to ruin your house with all the dog hair.
And that one would not fuck with Otis. We need to get the two of them together outside this house.
Yes, she would.
Like somewhere else.
Well, the nice thing also is even if she gets aggressive, Otis won't. So that would calm her down.
Yeah,
She's
that's
like,
fair. I don't think Iggy's
like,
ever been aggressive a day in her life, but
she attacked me a minute ago.
She does.
Playfully.
She also hates the vacuum cleaner. I think I've said this to you off mic before. Iggy will fight the vacuum. It's the weirdest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. It's the only thing she'll fight. Where like the vacuum, it's like a stick vacuum. It's like one of like the tall skinnies. And if I'm pushing it around on the hardwood floor, she will run at the vacuum and like chomp in the air Abby Lee Miller style and try to like
she's
bite
like,
it.
Wow, that thing sucks.
It's so fucking weird. Okay. No, I heard it. It just wasn't funny. You ready to talk about the pyramid of life, bruh?
Yeah.
You can go first. I literally don't have a bottom.
You do it. You're sitting on it.
I do, but I don't want to talk about, like, I want to talk about stuff that's funny and silly, and I don't know if I have a funny, silly bottom. You have a stupid bottom.
I do.
Because your bottom's dummy thick. There you go. You can have that one. You can have that one silly joke. What's your bottom?
Very simply, daylight savings time. Why are we still doing this?
No, okay. I'm so sorry.
No, it's dumb.
I love daylight savings time. I like being able to see on my way home from work. I like being able to leave my windowless cubicle where my soul goes to die and step out into the sun, Dear Evan Hansen style. I Love
Then why do we
daylight.
set
I'm
it back?
so
Why
sorry.
can't this be the time?
Agree. I don't like whatever the fall back. Fuck that. All my homies hate fall back. Spring forward is it. We should spring forward and stay there.
I think we should all just move closer to the equator and just have it be sunny from like 5 a.m. to 9 p.m.
That's true. That's what we'll do for next week's episode is we'll move closer to the equator.
Great.
That's
I love
what
the
we'll
plan.
do.
High five.
No. What is it? Oh my gosh. You talk about your middle. I literally like don't have
I had
like everything that I was gonna say is stuff I've said before.
Sure.
Like, I'm tired. You know what I mean? Just like dog shit opinions like that like literally mean nothing.
well, it's stuff that you have going on, but that doesn't make it like fun or funny.
What I was gonna say is like this was one of my I think I took it out of the middle. Yeah. What I was gonna say initially was that like it is such this is like I had two middles, so not really like a bottom of the pyramid, but like a middle, two middles. One of them was trying to make plans with adult friends, but we've talked about that before. But also you and I talk so fucking much. It's really difficult to keep track of what we've put here and what we're just like
that's fair.
Shooting the shit about.
Yeah.
So maybe we haven't talked about it on here. I don't fucking know. Those of you who have been like bodying all of the content in the last like 2 months, write in. We're standing by. Let me know if I've said this before. But you know what I mean? Like absolutely. Yeah. Oh, wait. Okay. Hang on. I have a funny story to tell you because this is a pun.
Go ahead.
So I did an event a couple of weeks ago at the Peabody in Memphis, Tennessee.
Dope.
And what our social media manager was taking a video of my work husband on the load in of him like rolling a case like down a hallway or something like that. Are you listening to me?
Yes.
No, you're not.
I was just making sure that I found the right DM.
Okay. She like was taking a video of him like whatever, and he like looks at her and he's like, "What are you doing?" And she was like, "I'm just taking a video of you doing the load in." I said, "She's taking a video of you bodying this load in," and he said, "Peabodying this load in." Is that the Peabody?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Made me giggle.
The Peabody's the one with the ducks, right?
The Peabody is the one with the ducks.
I went there one time.
It's awesome.
Had some overpriced cocktails. They were pretty good.
Same. I also did that at the Peabody. No, but trying to make plans with adult friends it wasn't the middle because it's like eventually you get to hang out with your friends and whatever.
That's great.
I made like basically an appointment with a friend this morning, like for 3 weeks from now to get dinner because we're both just like very busy people.
Yeah.
And it just like, I miss the days of like, I guess now that like I have a roommate, this kind of happens, but like walking down the hall in your dorm and being like, hey, get your ass in the car. We're going to Sonic. I have that with
best.
Rachel sometimes, but like, you know, your friends and your people, it's like, fuck, making plans. I don't want to see you in 3 weeks. I want to see you tomorrow.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's why I hate
in 3 weeks I might not miss you anymore. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
That's why it's hard having friends in like other states.
Also true.
Like it's like they're my favorite people, but
it's
you're
literally
so
making
far
an
away.
appointment. Like in months, I will see you again
Yeah.
for some days.
I just look forward to it, but god damn it,
That's
I have to wait
also
so long.
Also true. Okay, what is your
Middle?
That
is so dumb. It's NFL free agency.
Why is it dumb?
Well, because it started today. This is something that probably most of our listeners aren't particularly, god damn it, concerned with. It's like,
you gotta sound it out.
For those that don't know, basically the NFL season ended like a month ago. The Super Bowl happened, and then there's like a month of like the cooling off period. Teams can like choose to keep some of their players. Like, hey, your contract's up. Do we want to keep you or not? And then if not, they trade them or whatever. But now free agency opens up. So all the players that aren't being kept by their teams are getting like picked up by everyone. It's basically this like frenzy of like players going to other teams, and it's like it's fun because a lot of teams are like, oh my gosh, we just got
people be switching.
So and so player DK Metcalf went to the Steelers, amazing, he's a great wide receiver. Like there's a lot of fun things happening, and so it's fun for me to watch all this happen. It's not fun for me to watch the Titans do absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
the worst team in the NFL last year, and they're just sitting on their hands.
How about
That's not true.
Titans?
They signed a player from another team who gave up more sacks than anyone else in the NFL last year. That's who the Titans went after. Cool.
How about them Titans?
Pratik is furious, I'm sure.
Tighten up.
Tighten down.
Tighten up. For real.
Anyway, so yeah, it's like fun to see the moves, but the Titans suck. And
now you know how I felt when you and I were in high school, because you got to go to like the equivalent of the Eagles. I got to go to the Titans. You know what I mean?
Oh, in terms of high school,
in terms of high
programs?
schools and sports programs for a long
fair.
time.
Yeah.
So now you're getting to feel my pain.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
God,
My
that's
middle of the
gross.
pyramid is that I got a new tattoo.
Hell yeah, bro.
You can't. I'm gonna put a picture of it right here. See? Here's the picture of my forearm. So I have. I'm so afraid I'm gonna knock this DC right.
Oh,
off.
that would have been brutal.
I'm literally gonna cry.
Bringing
if
your
that
arm
happens.
back down. That was close.
So I have one on my right arm that is in the same location as the new one on my left arm.
And if you put them together, you become the Wonder Twins.
True. And it's in the middle for a couple of reasons. First of all,
What's in the middle of your arm?
it's in the middle of my arm. First of all, I got it and like a lot of people in my office did not like it. Which is like,
What, they're just like,
who
that
cares?
sucks.
Well, but they were like, wait, what? Oh, I should also say, because some of you bitches are still not watching with your eyeballs, you're just listening. Which I understand, because some of you like, oh, whatever. I don't
listen.
recommend you watch a video feed on your way to work. A lot of you are like,
Yeah.
I listen to you on my computer. Okay,
Or
so,
like in the gym
Yeah.
or whatever.
but I got a tattoo of, it's like a artistic interpretation of the mask that's on the cover of Billy Joel's album The Stranger, one of the best albums of all time, very important to me personally, very important to my family, very important to my growth as a human being. Love that album. Billy Joel is my man. I love him. So I went into work and I was like, oh, all these people are going to think it's so cool. And a lot of them didn't get it. And then we're like, wait, the what? And like, I just thought it would land with a few more people than it did.
They don't
but
have to
it
like
doesn't
it.
matter. Yeah, who fucking cares? My mom's going to be
Sing
pissed.
us a song, you're Amanda's man.
Fuck off. My mom.
That's a great joke.
My mom is gonna. I'm gonna see my family tomorrow. My mom's gonna be so mad. She's gonna be like,
hi.
huh?
Tell them I said hi.
No.
Oh.
She's gonna be so mad, and then she's gonna ask me the question that she always asks me every time I get a tattoo because I have 4 of them. She will always ask me, "Are you gonna get more?" At $20, she will ask me tomorrow, "Is that the last one?" I'm gonna say, "Mom, no."
Probably not.
So anyway,
So
I'm.
you're getting a face tattoo next.
Yeah, I'm gonna get Eli's name on my neck, Mom. Like, the fuck do you want me to say? Yes, and I regret all of them and you were right the whole time?
No,
Like, what do you mean?
Get Iggy's face huge
On
your
my
back.
ass? Oh, yeah.
Oh, either way.
Or either that. So anyway, I'm glad that I did it. I love that I did it. I think it looks fucking cool and that's what matters.
Hell yeah.
It is getting to the point where it's getting itchy.
Nah,
and
sure.
it's scabbing up and I really want to just like, and I can't because you're supposed to let the scabs like, sorry, this is kind of gross, but like flake off and scab off. And so I just have to sit here and kind of pat it like this. So glad I got it. I do kind of wish people thought it was cooler, but like whatever. Who fucking cares?
So people who like
I just
do
wish it
their
wasn't
hair
itchy.
a specific, like you have to pat your hair
Yeah, true.
instead of scratching it.
Or like if you like ever have a brace or a cast on and you can't like get your ruler down in your cast,
that's a
you have to like
nightmare.
flick the boot or whatever. Yeah, like that's kind of what
You're just
this
like
is.
smacking your injured arm.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, the end. If you're in the neighborhood and you want to get a tattoo, visit my BFF Zane Pendergast at Sunrise Tattoo in Nashville on Taylor. He is like literally the coolest person ever. My favorite thing that he does is he will tell me what he's gonna do before he starts touching me. Slay. Very exciting.
What, tattoo
You know what I mean?
wise? Or he's like,
Yeah, or like, can
I'm
I
gonna touch you now.
He'll say like, can I see your arm? Instead of just like picking up my arm and shaving off the arm hair.
I feel like
Or
that's,
being like, you
shouldn't
would
that be the default?
you would think, but especially with men, it's not because men are the fucking worst. Most of the time, present company, most of the time excluded. But oh no, I made a joke and you didn't catch it, and now I just sound like an asshole.
No, present company most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that.
Most of the time excluded.
Yeah.
Most of the time. That's supposed to. Okay, there we go. I was like, oh shit,
You're
I'm
on a
gonna have
roll.
to
I didn't want
bleep
to
that
interrupt
one.
you.
Anyway, go see Zane. He's great. He does like, instead of just like being weird, he'll always say what he's gonna do or ask me to do something instead of just like being a freak about it. And he did the strawberries also, and he's like very nice. The tattoo parlor is like very open. There's like lots of windows and plants and stuff, so
It's not like dark and dirty.
No,
and
it's
crazy.
not. And like your adrenaline is not like, you know, thrumming through your veins at an insane rate.
Thrumming is
It's like
great
almost a
word.
dentist office. But
Oh,
then you
that's
like
too
look
much.
at the wall and there's like tattoo art on the wall. It's like, oh,
Gives you a
this
tattoo
is
and then
interesting.
rips a tooth out of your head.
Yeah, kind
A
of.
tattooth.
A tattoo. Ridiculous. So fucking stupid.
Hell yeah, dude.
Okay, what's your top of the pyramid?
Top of my pyramid is DC.
Slay.
Dog.
Slay.
It was so much fun.
Party.
Your boy,
Your
the boys went on a trip to DC to visit Patrick
the
and Leah.
boys.
Yeah, we're the boys now.
No.
High five.
No.
It's right there.
No.
It's so easy. Here, I'll make it closer so you can reach it. Yeah.
Don't ever say I didn't do anything nice.
Do you see? Thank you. It was so much fun. Like start to finish. Got there early Friday. Got to go to the Botanic Gardens.
True.
Which was sick. Got to do like a bottomless brunch where the food and the alcohol were bottomless.
That was low-key.
That was crazy.
The combo, because after bottomless brunch, we went to the Smithsonian American Art Museum, and stumbling around looking at art kind of drunk, I think is like my sweet spot.
Yeah.
Like that was so much fucking fun.
Yeah.
Also, in the bathroom at the brunch place, I could run it up now. I like texted like 50 people in all caps, I'm drunk at brunch and I love you. And I was firing them bitches off.
Hell yeah.
And Leah at one point was like, Amanda, are you still in here? I was like, yeah, I'm drunk texting people, hang on. And she was like, huh?
Hell yeah.
But I was like, and every single person I sent it to sent it back in all caps, bitch, I love you too, or something
Hell
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
It was great.
Dude,
But then the art museum was awesome.
Telling your people, Jesus fucking
Oh
Christ.
my God.
Jesus
Wait, Rachel.
Christ. Rachel. That was
Rachel, okay.
one of those.
Rachel,
no,
wait, stay
shut
right
up.
there.
Stay
I'm taking
there.
a picture.
Stay there. That is legitimately one of the scariest things I've ever fucking
Rachel
witnessed.
Pennywise the clown.
She was just standing outside the window.
Because the window...
Smiling crazily.
The window to my living room is eye level from the street. And
God.
so she just like appeared in the bottom half of the window and scared the fuck out of both of us. I'm going to put a picture of her right here.
Absolutely frightening.
God, I love her. That
Holy
was awesome.
hell. That was a slow burn too, because I just kind of like...
I wonder how long she's been standing out there for 2 hours.
I noticed something out of the corner of my eye, and I just kind of like looked over and was like, holy shit. Whew, that was fucking jarring.
God, I love her.
What the hell was I talking about?
DC,
DC's. We went to the Botanic Gardens. We went to the art museum. We went and got hamburgers. We went to several different bars. Sat outside on a nice cold patio, but there were some heaters there. And met up with one of Leah's law school friends, Sarah Clark. Shout out Sarah Clark. You're not listening, but she's dope. What did we do? Patrick made us breakfast. Went to the zoo.
Watched Drag Race.
Played a board game. It was just fucking awesome.
It was a lit ass weekend, be sure.
It was so fun. Oh, here she comes. What the hell took her so long?
She's probably smoking.
Oh.
Rachel be smoking out the window.
I'm unhappy with you.
Okay, your daughter is turning into a skinny legend.
Yeah, I know.
I thought you might have been making it up, but now I kind of think you're onto something.
Don't worry about this. This is mental illness.
I've never been worried about you a day in my life. Actually, that's not true. Rachel locked herself out of the house this morning, so I was a little bit worried about
phenomenal.
it. She's like, yeah, I did that shit, actually.
But also...
True.
But all like DC's just fucking great. There's so much like good food and so much like, culture.
Every street we walked down, Elijah Farmer would stop and like Louis Armstrong look around and be like, "This is the best. What a wonderful world." He'd be like, "Wow, I just love. You can just walk anywhere," and they'd be like, Look at those houses. Look at those buildings. Like everything. He's like, in Nashville, all we have is like ugly ass buildings. Ass buildings. And here they're like so much nicer. And it's so much like there's every street we walk down.
There's actual architecture and character there.
The best part was that we were walking in silence at one point, and I said, or Leah, one of us said like to you, said to the group how nice it was outside. Like it's really nice outside. And you were like, I was just thinking about how nice the street was, but I didn't say it because I knew you guys were going to make fun of me. I was keeping it to myself, but I also think it's nice outside.
Yes, I was right.
Let me tell you something else. I love, like, there's, like, truly nothing that, like, gives me more joy than, like, ganging up on you with someone else. And I know that's, like, so probably very annoying, but, like, there's a locking in that happens when you say something fucking stupid, which is not infrequent.
Leah stays ready.
And Patrick, that it's just like Eli makes like a sex joke, and we're all like,
"It's time."
Here it comes. Like we're doing it. We're the three of us. Let's fucking go.
There's no prep. It's just
Avengers
like,
Assemble.
Set phasers to kill.
Yeah, finish him. Yeah, it's literally that. It's great. So yeah, it was a good time.
That was the top of my pyramid, for sure.
Party.
To your point of comparing places though to Nashville. Nothing will make you hate Nashville more
Than
than going to
Nashville.
anywhere else.
Than anywhere else, yeah.
It's so true.
Ugh.
The top of my pyramid is that I've been thinking about going to the pool a lot. That's it.
I
the
love
thinking
that.
about it and the thought of going, because my sister and I last summer, I talked about this a lot last summer, that we would stand like buffalo in the water and stand on the edge of, like, stand in the water, but like lean up on the wall like this, like in our bathing suits, just like reading, not swimming, just waiting, standing and waiting. Reading our books and stuff, and like eating fruit and salsa and drinking White Claw or High Noon or whatever the hell I can get my hands on for free at work sometimes, and just like killing them. What? Oh, speaking of shit I got for free at work sometime.
Banana bread?
One time I got there were these cans. I don't know if you saw these, but they were cans that were called Bev.
Oh yeah, the little champagne.
Yes. Do you
Champagne?
know what the ABV of them bitches is?
No, but
12. The
Yeah,
can is literally a
that-
it is
that's like
this
wine.
big. Yes, I didn't know that. And sometimes we get some,
makes sense because they're so small.
but they gave us party sizes that were like
Party.
literally like 3 glasses of wine in one, and I didn't know. I picked them up thinking that they were something else, and I necked 2 of them within like an hour. And I was like seeing the face of God, and I was like, yo, what the fuck, like what happened?
So that's the equivalent of like
And
3
one of my
glasses
friends,
wine.
yeah, 6, because I had had 2 of them in an hour. I had
No,
6 glasses of wine in an hour.
There's 2 glasses in each one?
There's 3 glasses in each one because they were the tall ones.
Oh, shit.
And I had 2 of them
I
in an
see.
hour.
Math.
So I had 6. And one of my friends picked up the can and they were like, Amanda. And I was
You
like,
good?
wait, what? And I like zonked out of my fucking gourd, dude. It was bad to the bone. Anyway, I'm really excited about going to the pool with my sister and reading books. And then we're going to go to the pool and read books and then go back to my sister's house and then take a shower and then watch TikToks on the big screen while her husband complains about the fact that we watch TikToks all the time on the big screen. And then we tell him to fuck off. And then we go get Mexican food and then we go back to their house and we watch a movie. And then they're like, Amanda, you should spend the night. And I'm like, I can't. My birth control and my mental health medication are at my house. And then I go home. Every weekend in the summer.
And she was telling me that, and I was like, yeah, but you could just take your medications with you. And she was like, no,
Then
there's
I
a
will never-
ritual to it.
Yes, I said that will ruin the vibe.
Also, Eli, I was just talking. I wasn't asking for your This is me narrating. I wasn't asking for your suggestions. There's no way to improve this process. This is the process,
True.
which I totally get.
True. It's just how it is. It just be like that with your siblings
They
sometimes.
say it don't be like it is,
but it do. My sister's birthday is tomorrow.
Happy birthday, Neely.
Happy birthday, Neely. If I think about you too much, I'm gonna start
Oh,
crying.
well, this would have been yesterday when it comes out.
Yeah. Happy belated birthday, Beats. I love her. Okay. Are you ready to talk about the content of this episode?
You bet your bottom dollar I am.
Okay, great. Wait, god damn it.
What?
We have
Emails.
emails. Hang on. We got a million of them. Get on your side of the couch. Why is your man hand over here? Fuck off.
It's manifest destiny. I'm taking over both couches.
I'm gonna bite your hand. Like, enough. Okay. So this one's from our bestie, Alyssa, who's trying to go to sleep, so shut up. She's trying to get some sleep around here.
Sorry.
Okay, the subject line is birthday gift. She says, "Hi, Amanda and Eli. How are you guys? I turned 20 on March 12th and would love a birthday shout out from my favorite podcast. Alyssa,
birthday
happy
to-
MFing birthday, diva."
I'm not going to sing
Party.
the birthday song, but happy birthday. That's awesome. No longer a teenager.
True.
That's a feel good one. Hell yeah.
True. In other news, Eli, I have almost 70 hours of community service for this semester, which is a sorority record.
That's
MF.
crazy. That's actually crazy.
Mega slay from Alyssa.
That's awesome, dude.
This is the one where she said that I need to get Iggy a friend. Iggy has a friend. Iggy, it's the
It's
dynamic
me.
it's the dynamic of I think I'm your best friend. Or I think I'm your best friend, where like Liza is Iggy's friend. Iggy's not friends with Liza. You know what I mean? Like, Liza would not say that she and Iggy are friends, but Iggy would be like, Liza's my best friend. The
Oh,
cat.
right. I see.
You know what I mean? It's very that.
He's like, nothing's wrong with us. We love each other. And Liza's,
Liza's like,
I'll kill her in her sleep.
It's almost like
No. No.
one time
No.
the meanest like read that I've ever gotten from Eli was one time Liza like open mouth hissed at him. Like, this was like a couple years ago. And Eli looked at me and he said, you know, they say that pets take on the personalities of their owners.
That was a read.
That was a
Were
read.
you gagged?
I was.
Nailed it.
I was gagged and gooped. Gathered and collected. It's true. Were you gagged? Let's see. She's this little cinnamon roll, and Rachel should definitely come on the podcast. I think you and Eli should recreate the girl party video. LOL.
Yes.
Anyway, random email from me, but wanted to make sure that you knew that Goodnight Alyssa was still here listening. Bye, Alyssa, bestie of the podcast.
Alyssa, I gotta be honest with you. Even if you don't continue listening, we're probably still gonna say that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If you don't continue listening,
Every night when we go to sleep, we are all Alyssa. You know what I mean? It's good night to all y'all. Okay, this is from...
wait, does that mean I'm turning 20 again? That would be sick.
Yeah, you haven't been 20 in, like, what? Like 30, 20 years or something like that? Yeah. Okay, this email's from Morgan. She says, hi, Amanda and Eli. First of all, rude of y'all to keep calling him by his government name. That's fucking crazy. But this is clarification. She says, my comment last week, she was the one who wrote in about Lancaster, Pennsylvania being progressive.
Yes.
She said, my comment last week wasn't directed at you. It was directed at what the dance mom said.
Yeah, we said that.
Slay.
Thank you for the
kind of
clarification.
what I figured. Love you so much.
I
I totally get being stressed about traveling, even when we were excited about going. I forgot about my pyramid of life last week, LOL. The bottom is studying for midterms and dual mobile notifications when I'm trying to log into Canvas. Where you're like trying to log in and check your grading, you have to like keep... I guess... No, I actually don't know.
There's like a two-factor authentication.
Yeah, probably something like that.
It's like, check all the boxes that have a bike in them or whatever.
Yeah, or whatever. Prove you're not a robot.
I'm not a robot. Solve this quadratic formula.
Yeah, they're like, do math. And I'm like, I'd rather die,
I haven't done
actually.
math in 14 years.
Yeah. The middle is meeting up with my friend for dinner every week and getting into the dorm I wanted to live in next year, which was built in 2022 at my college. Slay.
That's so new. The dorms
so
I lived
exciting.
in were built in like the 60s.
Same. My freshman dorm was condemned the year after I moved out.
Because of you?
Yes, because I put a hex on it. My Bible college. The middle of the pyramid. Oh no, I already said that. The top is spring break being 7 days and going to see Moulin Rouge and Wicked on Broadway.
Oh man.
When I tell you,
Amanda's gonna take a bite out of something.
I'm gonna take a bite out of a lot of things. So when I tell you, when we were on our way to the airport, what day was that? Yesterday? Oh my god!
Yeah.
I asked Patrick and Leah what the distance is between DC and New York, and they were like
4
4-hour
hours.
train ride. And I was like, hey, so I'm gonna come back maybe next weekend. Like I have to go back to New York City. I have to.
I haven't actually.
I need to be on my
time.
theater kid shit. Like, I need to go back and fuck it up in the Big Apple for real. The last time I was in New York City, I was a senior in my Bible college, and I had never had a drop of alcohol or anything fun in my life. I hadn't done anything fun ever last time I was in New York City. So I have to go back, bitch.
I have never actually spent time in New York City.
Girl, next time we go to DC, we're going to New York. You and I are taking on the Big Apple, and you're going to have to get over it. I don't think we're going to close that door all the way. My song of the week is Red Wine Supernova by Chapel Roan.
Oh, sure.
T.
Wait, isn't that another song? Something Supernova. What? Oh, Champagne Supernova.
Oh, no, this
That's
is
what
Red
I'm thinking
Wine
of.
Supernova. I love your
ripoff.
guys' banter, and I'm looking forward to next week's episode. I'm so glad someone enjoys my dynamic with Eli. That makes it a lot more tolerable. Also, I am from Maryland. Love Morgan.
Oh, yeah.
Slay Morgan.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I figured. She's like from there and knows what's up.
True. This is the story of a girl. No. This is an email from a listener named Ellie, and it says at the beginning, Dear Amanda and then in brackets in all caps, redacted. That's the energy I want to see to the on the runway every week. Apply yourself to the competition. That's what I want to see.
That's so funny.
She says, hi, I'm Ellie, not my real name, and I'm a 28-year-old teacher from Australia. I've been listening to your... Shut up. I'm listening to your episodes since Sounds Like a Cult dropped and have finally caught up to date. Thanks for filling my commute. I'm very annoyed that I have to wait each week for an episode like a peasant.
Man, again, since Sounds Like a Cult, this person has been
Binging for real.
Hell yeah.
I knew from fairly early on that I wanted to send you guys an email, but I wanted to wait until I was all caught up. I have a lot of little things I want to say throughout the listening process, usually random bits of trivia, and now I have now surely forgotten 98% of them. Oh well.
Yeah, I hate doing that because like I'll think of so many different responses, and when it comes time to actually respond, I'm like, I got 2 things.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't remember anything actually.
Yeah.
The first is such a tiny petty thing that I know is unimportant, but I can't help it that it bugs me, so I just want to point it out. You keep mentioning that Paige Highland is a model. She's not.
Oh.
That's crazy. I am a fucking liar and didn't even know it. She's done modeling for Sherry Hill, which is a dress company, in the past when she was still a teen, but it's not her day-to-day job. She works in marketing. I thought...
Oh, she's a girl boss.
I thought for a fucking fact that she was a model, but maybe it's just because she's hot. I don't know. Also, you mentioned Kalani's ethnicity in the most recent episode. She is part... Is it Basque? Basque?
That's how I think that's pronounced.
It's one of those Western European ethnic groups that either is or isn't white, depending on who you ask, because whiteness is made up. Because whiteness is made up and changes constantly to suit the oppressor.
Ooh.
The Basque region is in France/Spain. You were also talking about Elon.
Interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. You were also talking about Elon's fragile male ego in the most recent episode, which reminded me of a line in Max Z's classic hit, It's a Girl Party, which says, you know how boys are with their inflated, fragile egos.
That's a line in a Max Z song?
She's truly the greatest lyricist of our time. I don't know, but if it is, put that on my tombstone. Play that song at my funeral. It's a Girl Party play at my funeral.
That's amazing.
I know it's been spoiled for you that the Lucasics leave, but there's something I want you to look out for near the end of season 4. In the episode, this might be a spoiler. In the episode Another One Bites the Dust, which is season 4, episode 28, Kathy and Abby have a fight. Groundbreaking, I know. And I just want you to pay attention to the dialogue of that fight. It won't be immediately obvious why, but it's something that will come up later. On to much more fun things. Did you know that there was going to be an Australian version of Dance Moms? They got as far as auditioning for their team before COVID shut it down, which is crazy. Highly recommend checking out the song. Wait. Oh, there was a person who was going to be on the show who then became actual famous, who wrote a song called Strawberry Kisses for some incredible bubblegum pop music. Love bubblegum pop.
Hell yeah.
Okay, the pyramid of the week. I'm going to go through this really quickly because this is kind of a long email. I'm so sorry.
It's a good email,
it is a good email. Bottom of the pyramid is teachers who don't like teaching. We knew a lot of them. We were in school with a lot of them. One of my biggest pet peeves is teachers who get into the profession because they didn't know what else they wanted to do with their life. It doesn't necessarily include people who accidentally find their way into teaching and end up falling in love with it. Just those who clearly don't give a shit. This job is so hard. I don't know why you put yourself through it if you didn't love it. Those teachers give the rest of us a bad name.
T.
Literally so T. The middle, dumplings. I make very good dumplings, so I do say so myself. I always make a huge batch, and I love being able to grab some out of the freezer whenever I cook them up.
Nice.
They're so much better than store-bought. The reason they're in the middle is because the process of folding such a large batch is so tedious and time-consuming that I don't make them very often, so they're not pre-made and ready for me to eat as often as I'd like.
Sure, yeah.
The top, fan fiction. I'm the classic burnt-out, gifted kid who, late diagnosed ADHD kid who really struggles to sit down and focus on reading despite how much I love reading. Fan fiction has been a great way for me to bridge that gap. Something about being able to scroll on my phone and also filter for my specific preferences has made reading so much more achievable for me as an adult. I recommend exploring fan fiction to all reluctant readers who want to give their fanfic writers a little kiss on the forehead and say thanks for all their hard work.
I think you and this person would be best friends.
I think we already are best friends. Song of the week. There's an Australian pop duo named the Veronicas. Bitch, I know the Veronicas, and I know them because of what? Drag Race. Because they do some of their songs sometimes as lip syncs. They are you know the Veronicas. Ow! You know the Veronicas. They have a song called Untouched. I know. Hang on. Pull that shit up right now.
I will.
DJ, run my MFing track. You know this song. You absolutely know this song.
Okay.
Their song Untouched has become an unofficial anthem for millennial Australians to the point where they will introduce the song at festivals by playing Please Rise for the Australian National Anthem. I recommend all of their music. I think you'd really like it, Amanda T. But Untouched in particular is a perfect pop song. Run it.
We're going to cut this?
No.
What?
No.
We're going to get shut down by
It's going to be
YouTube.
fine. You know this song.
Oh, I think I do.
Yeah, like, come on.
No,
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm skipping ahead.
Yeah. You don't know that song?
No.
You don't?
I don't.
Ugh. Girl, that song was everywhere when I was in high school. Everywhere.
Keep in mind, you were in high school at a very different time than I was.
Well, I was just going to say...
What years you graduated high school?
You don't want me to do all this.
It was like fucking 2015 or some shit.
No, it was 2014.
Okay.
And then I graduated from college in 2018, the infamous year that can suck a dick. I've said that before on the podcast. I'll say it till I die. Anyway, thank you for keeping me entertained. I can't wait to hear your reactions to how truly unhinged the show becomes. Also, there's legitimately breathtaking...
Becomes? What do you mean becomes?
There's legitimately breathtaking dances as the show progresses, but let's be real, we're here for the drama. All my love, Ellie. Very slay.
Very slay indeed.
That's a
Thank you,
spam
Ellie.
email. Okay.
Hell yeah.
This one, I'm going to speed run it. It's from a listener named Marin. The subject line is Justice for Amanda's Coffee Table. Hi, Amanda, and what's his name? Period, actually. Longtime
Coffee
listener.
table destroyer.
Yeah, it's literally so true. Eli's never met a coffee table he likes. I know a coffee table hates to see Eli coming.
I literally have bumps on my shins from where I
your
used to run
coffee
into
table.
coffee tables in my post-college apartment.
Yikes. A longtime listener, first-time emailer, because Eli has finally enraged me enough with his actions that I must speak up and speak out on behalf of women everywhere. Eli, my guy, you need to learn how to use a coaster. The way that Eli sat down in last week's episode, happy as a clam with his little Sprite can, and slapped... I can't even...
I did.
I can't read this. Hang on.
I totally did.
Hang on. The way... Oh, hang on. I have to find my theater performance degree. The way that Eli sat down in last week's episode, happy as a clam, with his little Sprite can, and slapped that thing raw dog on the coffee table 2 centimeters away from the stack of smiley face coasters, has sent me into a downward spiral from which I may never return. She says, you bet your bottom dollar my eyeballs were glued to that can for the rest of the episode, just waiting for it to either tip over because he also placed it precariously close to the edge of the coffee table. No one will ever understand the science behind a man's decision-making process. Or leave the dreaded condensation ring on Amanda's gloriously curated table. I was sweating bullets. Miraculously,
The Sprite can wasn't.
neither happened because these things always seem to work out for straight white men. Whenever it's fine, I'm fine. The camera died right in the middle of my tangent. Anyways.
It's just anyway.
Well, the email says anyways, which is why I said
okay.
that. Anyways, Eli, please take this time to identify and locate the coaster nearest to you with the heart emoji.
There are 6 of them.
Here's my listener.
More, actually. There's so... Why do you have so many coasters?
Okay, I don't come into your house and ask stupid questions.
You know what? Honestly, it's my fault because there were so many available and I just straight up didn't use them.
True, and also, I've said this before to you off camera and I'm going to say it again. Eli's the only man allowed in this house, period. Actually, that's not true. That's not true. But it also kind of is. The dudes who are in this house consist of the following folks. Gay men and my dad. Eli's the only not gay person who's not my dad, who's allowed to be in this house.
Or petite.
Don't come, yeah, sometimes. Don't come into my house and start asking stupid questions about my coasters. Don't judge
ma'am.
me. One of those sacks.
There was no judgment
One of those
inherent
sacks
in
I
that.
got for free
Hell
at
yeah.
work, the lime green ones, and everybody gave them to me. People were like, "Oh, we saved these for you because they're lime green." So I have them as an homage to my beautiful coworkers who I love so much. Don't piss
yeah.
me off. Here's my listener pyramid of the week. Bottom of the pyramid, doing my taxes.
Yeah.
If the government already knows so much about what I owe them, why don't they just do the math and show me their work?
Because tax prep companies have lobbied Congress, and so now we have to pay money to get our taxes
This
filed.
is a rhetorical question. Just take my money, dog. It's not that deep. I'm a ballet teacher and am therefore a contracted employee at each studio I teach at, meaning my pay isn't taxed throughout the year and I end up owing money at tax season when everyone else gets a refund. I'm sure there's a way I can have money withheld from my paycheck throughout the year, but my tiny dumb girl brain isn't smart enough, nor do I care enough to figure it out. Shrug emoji.
If you're on a 1099, you probably can't actually.
If you're on a 1099, you actually cannot.
You literally just have to set it aside and
Personally, yeah.
kind of guess how much you're going to owe.
Yeah. Middle of the pyramid is when your friends start using lingo and... Middle of the pyramid is when your friends start using the lingo and little sayings that you use in their day-to-day life. Like, oh, you listen to what I say? You think I'm funny? I love it. Top of the pyramid. Also, Eli and I were just having a conversation about how he specifically is going to start using the word party the way that Adora Delano does, which is what made me giggle.
And I'm gonna use it ironically, but it's gonna seep into my actual
Party.
day-to-day vocabulary.
Party.
I'm gonna end up saying it's like my boss.
It's like slay. One time I said slay to my boss, who is a 72-year-old white man. I texted him back and I said slay. And he just hit me with the yellow thumbs up. And I was like, well,
Obviously.
that's so embarrassing.
I say lit.
Top of the pyramid is a motherfucking Stanley Cup. Listen, I have been out here for years with my stupid little Target brand water bottle and not a care in the world taking little happy sippy sips of room temperature water. I've been dealing with some chronic health issues lately, and it's become increasingly important that I stay hydrated throughout the day. My husband bought me a Stanley Cup with the cowboy hat straw topper to motivate me to drink more water, and damn it if it's not a game changer. Every sip is like drinking runoff from a pristine glacier in the middle of Antarctica, and now I'm slurping down 2 to 3 Stanleys per day. Muscle emoji. I now understand the hype my tween and teen students have been feeling for years.
Nice.
If by some miracle you made it this far and decided to read this on the pod, feel free to use my Starbucks name of Lauren. Love and appreciate y'all so much. Please give Iggy lots of belly rubs and booty smacks for me because she is a queen and an icon and deserves every good thing this world has to offer. And then she said, good night, Alyssa.
Good night, Alyssa.
Iggy, come here. We have to smack your ass.
She's like, hell yeah, dude.
She's like, but Rachel's outside. Okay, those are the listener emails.
Holy cow.
Holy shit, that was a
We're way
lot.
into this episode, dude.
Well, anyway, thank you for... I love a listener email. Thank you
too.
so much for them.
Iggy,
you gotta hop up.
Come on. Why are you stepping over? Where are you going?
She's
Come
like, I'd rather just stand on the floor and be anxious, actually.
Come here.
There we go.
Iggy, I've been instructed to give you.
She licked my hand. The spit flew backwards and hit me in the face.
Mess diva. A messy diva, for sure. Oh.
Oh, I got her riled up already.
Oh, boy. Oh, my God. Okay. Mr. Farmer, are
Ma'am.
you ready to get into the content of this episode?
You bet your bottom dollar I am. Let's
Slay.
go.
Okay, this week we're talking about season 4, episode 15, Lights, Camera, Dance. Previously on, we have Abby wanting to put together a new team, and also Abby talking about her mom's health. We've been talking about the same thing for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
This is still previously on because we're still talking about it every week.
Oh, my God.
Okay, this episode we start at the front desk. Just got self-conscious about
We're good.
forgetting to start the thing.
Now we're good.
Starting at the front desk, Melissa immediately says she was just visiting Mrs. Miller,
And I
but
saw her on oxygen.
but Abby's there. So she went to see Abby's mom without Abby. Weird. Sorry.
I mean,
weird.
Yeah.
And Abby is like, yeah, Melissa's like, I saw her with her oxygen and like it was really difficult and your pain is about me and whatever.
And they both start crying
And
immediately.
they both start crying, and then Abby, in her talking head, says that her mom would want her to be at the studio, which I don't think is necessarily like an insane thing to say.
I think that's correct.
I think so too. I think when you have those kinds of experiences with people who are about to pass on, oftentimes they'll say like, "Don't be here with me.
Yeah,
like go live your life. You know, like go do your thing."
The end of my days shouldn't like consume your
Yours,
life.
yeah.
We
like,
don't know
go
how long
do
it's
your
gonna
thing.
last. Like, do not let me into because people can often feel like a burden when that happens.
True.
Dude,
And
I
it's
don't
like
wanna
you're just
be a
gonna sit
burden.
here, like-
listen. I feel all the love.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna die in the next 10 hours.
Yeah.
Go have your day. Go
And
do your thing.
Mrs. Miller was like a dance teacher, so she gets it. Like,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
no reason. Yeah, that kind of sounds like an insane thing to be like. My mom would want me to be here, but like that actually.
She
kinda
literally
makes sense.
does.
They're in the mirror room and they're talking about how they've had 13 victories in a row, and then Abby says, "Is it time to celebrate or is it time for your teacher to get tough? Get tough."
Well, hold on. She says, she asked the kids, do you think that 13 wins is worth like should your teacher be celebrating right now? And Mackenzie goes, yeah. And Abby just goes, no, it's not. You foolish child. That's good.
That's good stuff, baby. That's a Diet Coke if I've ever heard one. Damn. Okay. Let's see. She says, yeah, get tough, which I thought was crazy. It was like, bitch,
Yeah.
if you stay tough, you don't have to get tough. You know what I mean? Mackenzie is shooting a music video. Apparently, this recording is coming at you live already in progress because they like stopped the shoot of the movie, the video, to be here to do the mirror thing. So Abby's like, we have to get back to the video like right now. And she says in her talking head that it's been a huge undertaking instead of huge. Pyramid of children. Bottom of the pyramid of kids is Nia. She says it's because she wasn't in the group. And Dr. Holly is like, suck my dick. That's so annoying. She says it's infuriating because it wasn't Nia's fault that she wasn't in the group. So why is it Nia's fault that she's on the bottom of the pyramid? Dr. Holly, with peace and love, you got to stop asking questions that make sense, girl.
Yeah.
This is not the show for that.
Also ones that you know the answer to.
Yeah, also true. It's like a little bit of confirmation bias, just like creeping in slightly. Kendall's next. She was second in like her solo scores. So, and she's like, and you know how I feel about second. It's the first loser and blah, blah, blah. Kalani is next. Abby says she was seeing like technical issues, which is crazy because like since when?
Yeah, no.
Because last I checked, Abby like loved Kalani and thought she was perfect. So like technical issues where? I don't get that.
Just making shit up.
Literally making shit up.
Kira makes the point. She's like they won their duet.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Where are the technical issues?
Yeah, like what are you talking about?
Whatever.
And then she, in her talking head, makes the very astute observation that maybe the pyramid is not always about performance. Like,
yeah.
Okay, period. Kira. Like, welcome to the club.
I know that it has nothing to do with the competition. Like, welcome to the show, Kira.
Correct. Welcome.
That's not a knock on her. Like, it's
no,
just,
not necessarily. Yeah, it's
but
just
like she gets it.
That honeymoon phase is dwindling. I feel
rapidly.
The middle of the pyramid of children. The next one is Mackenzie. She was like balancing a lot, but she did really well. Whatever. Chloe was next. Abby says that she worked really well with Kalani. So it's weird that Mackenzie is separating Kalani and Chloe when they
I agree.
should be equal in the middle of the pyramid where there's two spots.
So many times too. Where like there's a duo or something and like two people do like the exact same thing or have the exact same thing and just like aren't next to each other. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. And the top is Maddie Duh. She was best in the group, according to Abby. And this week they're going to the Masters of Dance Arts in Buffalo, New York, which they have been to before. And she says, this week is going to be all about my mom, the best dance mom in the world. So they're doing a bunch of like tribute numbers to Mrs. Miller this week. Maddie is going to do a cabaret solo, a number that's inspired by the musical Cabaret. And Abby says that her mom has close ties with the folks that did that show. And Tony, get on this. I want to know how. Cabaret is a very like sad and twisted and complex exhibition of joy and sorrow. It's like not a kid musical, like even a little bit. So it's interesting that they're like kidding it up to make it something that Maddie can dance to. And I do kind of want to know what her mom's alleged association with the folks who did
that's interesting.
Cabaret is. Currently, Adam Lambert for a while was playing the host in Cabaret on Broadway because it's on right now. And the next person who's going to play the host or the MC or whatever they're called is Orville Peck. So that'll be fun. I'm going to get a ticket. And then I'm going to visit Patrick and Leah without you. Anyway, just kidding. Maddie's doing a cabaret solo, says, oh yeah, Abby's like, my parents basically invented that show. Chloe's doing a solo about the 50s that's called Friday Night. And the group is doing a number to Amazing Grace that has everyone, except Mackenzie. She's not in it. Maddie did this number as a solo, but now they're making it a group performance. Amazing Grace.
And Abby's like, Nia, I guess you're in the group.
Yeah, Nia, you're in it, I guess. But then Nia,
punching down.
like, kind of like makes a face and then like cuts her eyes at her mom, and they have like a telepathic communication of mother and daughter, and then Nia like locks back in again. It's so great. I love it.
Yeah. A lot was said in that little glance.
A lot was said with nothing. Yeah, just the eyes. Mackenzie and Abby go to the next like spot for the video. Chloe's not in the music video. She's not in the slumber party scene.
Right.
Which we're going to come back to, but it's important to know that she gets to stay back with another choreographer and work on her solo while literally every other girl is doing something without her. Mm-hmm. We're going to come back to that.
I think it's interesting though, because like you could also spin that as like the other kids they're doing something fun but distracting, and Chloe still gets to like work on her solo.
You could, if other factors weren't at play, which we'll get to in a second. If her private lessons hadn't been canceled, then yes. Holly just like asked Abby outright in this moment, like, are you taking on too much with everything that's going on?
Yeah.
And she's like, yes, I am.
She's like, are you
I wanted
taking
to submerge myself.
Distract from your mom? And she's like, you betcha.
She's like, I want to submerge myself in my work to distract from my pain.
The rare moment of self-awareness from Abby Lee Miller.
Yeah. And she's self-aware about her destructive behavior, which is ironic.
I don't know that it's destructive.
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, she did say at the beginning, and we kind of agreed that like, hey, this is like a healthy thing to do. Like, go immerse yourself in the thing that you care about. Your mom would want this too. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, people.
And
grieve,
so Holly kind of calls that out, and she was like, "Yep,
yeah,
good read there."
Yeah, people get to grieve however they want to.
Yeah.
But Holly's perspective in her talking head is like, Last time Abby took on too much, Nia was on the chopping block. And
Yes.
that's where I have a problem.
Nia was affected by Abby not doing her job last week.
She was a sacrificial lamb, she
Fair.
says. Yeah.
Totally fair.
So while all the girls are gone having fun without her, Chloe is at the studio working on her musical theater solo with a choreographer named James. And this is supposed to represent like the era of Mrs. Miller's life that was taking place while it was the 1950s in the States.
Yeah, Chrissy also in her talking head notes that Chloe is supposed to represent like a little bit of the fun part of Miss Miller's life, which is, well, fun.
Yeah, I thought that was sweet.
And Chloe's excited because she's like, musical theater is like my best genre. I was like, is it really?
I heard
Thought
her
like
say that.
ballet
I was like,
or
what?
lyrical, like she's very. We've talked about this before. She's very long and slender and flowy.
Right. Musical
like,
theater.
That kind, doesn't lend itself.
Also,
to
she
musical
doesn't
theater.
even do it that often. So
No,
how would it be
I
her
couldn't-
best?
I couldn't tell you the last time that. I don't know.
either.
Maybe she's had fun with it in the past, but that's not my understanding.
True. Christy also says it sucks that she's not in the music video with her friends.
Yeah.
Speaking of the music video, we cut to Melissa's house at the shoot for the video. We're in like a bedroom, like a bonus room or something, like maybe Mackenzie's room, I don't know. We don't get like an alleged reason why, unless I missed it, which is like entirely possible, what the like scripted canned reason why Chloe wasn't in the video.
She just
Like,
she's like
why?
I think a lot taller than all the other kids, so she didn't
It's just like a look thing.
I think it's because like everyone else is like on the shorter side,
Sure.
and so if Chloe's in there, she's like as tall as Mackenzie is on the
Yeah.
bed when she's jumping around.
Sure,
and
no,
stuff. So, like,
totally.
maybe
I
it,
just-
it might be that.
Yeah, it could be. It's just I didn't clock like a recent egg. Crying,
The hell was that?
Literally crying in the corner. I just didn't clock like a reason. Like Chloe can't be in the video because blank. Nobody says it. They
Yeah.
just keep talking about how she's not in it. So I thought that was kind of weird.
I don't remember. Abby at the beginning of the scene where they're filming it, she's like, "Remember the little things? Shoulders down, point your feet," and then like 10 seconds go by, and she's like, "Hey, your posture is atrocious."
But true, probably because they're all children.
I
You know
mean-
what I heard recently, and you as the resident muscle expert can probably attest to whether or not this is true. I heard recently why if your posture is shit, why your back hurts if you sit with good posture, which is that because when you sit like a gargoyle, it stretches out your muscles, and then when you sit not like a gargoyle, your muscles are actually like in use.
Yeah,
And so it's like if they're floppy and gross.
you're contracting your muscles.
Is that true?
Which, like, if I were to sit here and lightly flex my bicep all day, like, it would get sore. I wasn't actually flexing; I just bent my elbow.
Yeah, keep going. I thought you were gonna be like, like my rippling bicep.
If I were actually flexing, my shirt rips off. And,
Yeah.
no, my biceps are not my best quality at all. But if I were to sit here and do that, just contracting the muscle, it would get really sore after a while. Same thing if I were to like just sit here like this. I'm contracting my traps. They would get really sore just like doing this because I'm not always doing this. If I walked around like this since my childhood all day, every day,
It'd be
they
different.
would get used to like this.
Yeah, my posture sucks ass.
Mine's not great either.
Mine's
I
awful.
slouch a lot.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, so here's the setup for the beef because it really pops off. There are like the moms that we know and love, or know and tolerate at least. And then they're in Melissa's house with other moms of other kids who dance at the stew.
Right.
So they all know each other, but it is very like the moms who are on the TV show versus the moms who are not on the TV show. Like that's kind of the dynamic. And the moms that are on the TV show, like our moms, are talking about how they hate the pyramid. And like, Jill's like, I never liked the pyramid. Like, I always think it's so rude. It's so demeaning, like whatever. And they kind of cut back and forth between this conversation happening downstairs and then the girls like actually shooting the music video.
Yeah.
And Mackenzie in her talking head says that she loves this because she loves her friends and she loves to sing.
It's
So
just
cute.
like there's just such pureness.
It's so sweet.
Surrounded by all this fucking chaos
It's like
and nonsense.
the second or third episode where she says, I love Justin Bieber and all I want to do is stay at home and eat
Stay
chips.
home and eat chips.
Me as fuck.
Yeah.
So
Was that her or Vivi?
that was her.
Oh, okay.
It was Mackenzie like way back in the day.
Sure.
So the other moms from the studio who are not really on the show, like, get a whiff of the moms talking shit about how hard it is to be on TV.
They're not normally on TV, but they make an appearance.
They're like, they swoop in like
so
vultures.
ready.
Melissa in her talking head Melissa is like fighting demons we can never understand.
Apparently.
She goes from 0 to 911 in like literally 5 seconds. So
Yeah.
Melissa in her talking head says that she hates Christy with a Y, not Chloe's mom, Christy, but this other woman whose daughter's name is Sarah.
Yeah.
She hates her, Christy with a Y. She says she is so freaking annoying, which is a like white suburban mom like slur, basically freaking annoying. And she just wants to be on the competition team, and she's just jealous of my boogie and whatever. The other moms are kind of like, so what's the tea about this new team that Abby's bringing in? And our moms are like, we don't fucking know what the tea is. Like, we're trying to make sure that our daughters aren't killed. I don't know what the new team is going to be looking like. I don't know. They're going back and forth about this. Abby from upstairs over the banister, looking down, like surveying the chaos that she has created, like Regina George and Mean Girls.
She's like an emperor watching the gladiators.
Yes, and over time, the little children collect near her and are also physically looking down on their moms.
Yeah, they can hear the
watching them
nonsense
fight
from in the room.
It's so weird, and Abby and her talking head is like, they're just really jealous. I was like... It's the littles just are also absorbing all of these moms screaming. And Christy with a Y, Sarah's mom, says that her daughter could beat Melissa, beat Mackenzie or Maddie.
So leading
right?
into that, the other moms come in and they ask like where their daughters stand compared to the competition team. Melissa says, "Oh, they don't hold a candle to our girls."
Oh yeah.
And then Holly says, well, we think that Abby is looking for a team that could beat the competition team. And then Christy with a Y says, oh, we've already beaten Mackenzie.
Yes, which is true. We'll clock that stat later.
Yeah, it's when she was like 8, though. That was like multiple years ago. Like,
yeah, that's true.
I mean, yeah.
That's true. Melissa is crying, like instantaneously, especially in her talking head.
Just the presence of Christy with a Y has just thrown her into a fucking frenzy.
Yeah, it really frazzles her. And she says that Holly in her talking head says that she's never seen Melissa get like this. And Melissa's like, get the fuck out of my house. I'm going to call the cops. It's very weird. And what I also thought was interesting was that Christy with the Y immediately backs down.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, this is my house. And she goes, I know. Okay, I'll leave.
You got it. Yeah, I'm out.
Yep. She's like, I respect that. I'm out. Bye.
And that's why she's not on the show.
Yeah, exactly. She didn't
knows how to diffuse
She didn't
conflict
whip out the Glock. You know what I mean? Then
Melissa
they're
was fake typing 911.
She's 911, 911.
And Christy with a Y is like, yeah, okay. She's like, all right, Sarah, we're leaving now. Everything's fine.
Yeah, she gets her kid and then they leave and there's a commercial. Very volatile situation for seemingly actually no reason.
Yeah, Melissa's going nuts. Christy is not matching the energy.
Oh, also she has that tiny white crusty dog with her that she picks up like a book. It's like so. She's like, "Let's go!" and picking up this little dog that appears out of nowhere. Excuse me.
It's not
so
actually
weird.
her dog. She's just stealing it.
Yeah, she's like, "This is my dog now."
Yeah.
We go to a commercial. We come back. We're 2 days out. Melissa and Abby are at the desk again, in the front desk. It looks exactly like the framing of the shot at the very beginning.
I mean, yeah.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Lifetime employs Edward Scissorhands in the editing room. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And Melissa in her talking head says that the video was a success, but now it's all about the competition. And so we see Maddie's solo rehearsal. Melissa's talking about seeing Mrs. Miller in the up in the Lido deck with all the other moms, and she's like, it's just really shocking. She's obviously very ill and near the end of her life, and it was just really hard to see because again, it's all about Melissa. Jill asks if Abby is going to come with them this week. She's like, you think Abby's going to be with us? Jill,
Yeah.
babe, obviously not, girl. Come on.
Yeah.
And then she asks if Chloe knows her number. She's like, well, we were all having fun without your daughter making her feel bad about being tall. So if that was going on, do you think that Chloe's going to be able to she must know her number by now because she's been here the whole time. And this is when Christy drops the lore that she was not allowed to be in the video for the sake of the privates, but
The privates were canceled.
they were canceled. So the fuck was the point? So she literally doesn't have a leg up the moms are oh, it's okay. What you're saying earlier. It's totally fine that she's not in the video.
That's what should have happened.
That's what she was told was going to happen.
Yes.
And then all the other teachers, and also here's my conspiracy theory. Christy says all the other teachers were busy, which makes me think that Abby didn't tell them ahead of time.
Yes.
Oh, another teacher will teach her. And all of them were you didn't tell us that I had a student today.
Yeah.
So I can't do it. I have like plans or whatever. Just like so fucking annoying.
Yeah.
The group rehearsal then starts to happen. They're dancing just to a vocal. There's no track or there's no instrument. I mean, there's no percussion.
It's hard.
That must be fucking difficult. Like
Yes.
I bet it's hard as fuck.
It's all about like when you can keeping your eye on Maddie, who's front and center, who's like leading.
Oh, yeah.
Whoever's front and center can't watch behind them. So like they're the pace car basically.
Sure.
Is the same thing with
It's the opposite with
certain
band.
types of okay, we say that. I am of the belief that everyone should just know their movements. But in a time like this where like say there's like a ripple or whatever, they're supposed to go back, like you gotta see the person in front of you and just exactly follow them.
You have to wait for them to do it before you do
And
it.
so with this, like they have to be locked in with whomever is in the front.
Yeah.
That's really hard. That takes a lot of like maturity as a performer.
True. Abby in her talking head says that Nia is struggling like she did last week, like she's struggling in the group just like she did last week. And she's like yelling at Nia. And then wait, what? Abby is yelling at Nia and looks up at Abby.
She looks up at the Lido deck at Holly.
Yeah, I think I meant
And
Holly.
she's just like, the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
And then
We get a heater from Christy where she says, "Good God, what does that woman want?" And Melissa says, "Blood." Crazy.
Right? That's a read.
awesome.
That's a read from Melissa.
Kind of
finally.
fucking awesome, actually.
Being one of the girls. Abby then tells Nia, go get your mother. Mm-hmm. And so
And Holly's like, "No."
she goes up and she's like,
Miss Abby
hey, Miss
wants you
Abby
to be
wants
there."
you. And
No.
Holly's like, no. And then says,
And then she does it anyway.
says, Abby is trying to distract you. You need to stay focused. And then Abby is like, again, she's like,
"Get
waving,
down
like, no,
here."
She's like, no, really, like, come down.
Come
please."
here.
But with her face kind of indicating, she's like, I'm not mad. I want you to come
This
down
isn't, we're
here.
not doing a thing. Come here.
Yeah, I'm not creating content. There's plenty.
Yeah.
Just actually come down here.
Yeah.
And then when she gets down there, Abby says, like, to Holly, she says, don't assume anything. Nia's in the dance. I literally just want you to hear corrections so you can help her when she practices by herself.
Totally fair.
That is very fair.
Yeah.
A rare moment of humanity from Abby Lee Miller.
Another rare
She's had
moment
a
of
few in this
self-awareness.
episode.
Yeah. I
It's
also
weird.
I understand that Holly like waffled and went downstairs because Abby told her that there was no imminent threat. However, I do love the energy of complaining about how you don't want to do something and then doing it anyway. That's like
Yeah.
one of my favorite things to do. In
I want to
general,
make
it's like,
it known.
I'm not doing this. Like, I'm not at work. I'm like bitching it to myself at my desk. Like, fuck that. I'm not doing that. And then 5 minutes later, I'm like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
I'll do it anyway. Holly in her talking head says that she's not going to let Abby walk all over her kid. Period.
Great.
Jill clocks that Holly looks like pretty pissed. She's like, I don't know. Holly's like not
happy.
really like living La Vida Loca downstairs. And then Holly like thanks Abby and she like leaves and she's like, thank you so much. I heard the corrections. Nia, apply them. Goodbye.
And then she's like, as she's walking out, she's like, Nia definitely got better today.
T.
And walks out.
And Abby says, that's called taking the high road.
Yeah.
She knew.
Kind of like she had every opportunity to
Like,
start shit.
damn, she could have eaten me up and she didn't. And I respect that.
Any other mother would have
Any
said
other
some
mother.
shit, but Holly's just like, I think she got better and walks out peacefully.
And Abby's like, damn.
Yeah.
She's real recognizing real.
She's like, she's just so much better than everyone else.
She's like, I want to be Holly so bad.
Yeah.
And then Holly goes upstairs and she's like, yeah, that was fucking stupid. She's like, I literally don't know what the point of all of that was other than to just be like, don't forget that your kid sucks.
Yeah.
And, listen to corrections sometimes. Melissa gets a text from Studio Larkin. Or no, sorry. She gets a text from Kelly Larkin, a mom, who is with Studio Larkin. And that said, like, I don't know if you saw my Instagram DM. Like, she's like, don't forget I slid in to let her know that Studio Larkin will be at the same competition as the ALDC this week.
And immediately all the moms are like, uh-oh.
They're sweating. Because it's not the same thing as, like, the Candy Apples. Like, we're giggling. We're having a nice time. We're shitting on Kathy. The competition's not real. Studio Larkin is a threat. For real, actually.
They are legit. And Christy makes the comment, we don't have, like, the clean dance to beat them. We learn a new dance in, like, 2 days every week.
Yeah.
They've probably been working on theirs for quite some time now. And they're just legitimately good.
Right.
Commercial.
We cut to a commercial. We come back. We're one day out, and Abby's like not with the girls. She's with her mom, and she's gonna be with her mom for the rest of the episode. G is like kind of helping Maddie. It's always so funny to me when Gianna is coaching any of the other girls because it's always like a control of what's normal, right? Like Gianna is exactly the same. She's the same yesterday, today, and forever. Normal person.
You know what's really funny too is every once in a while she'll try and channel a little bit of
Yes.
Abby, and it just feels so unnatural.
I have a note in there in my notes about that where she's like trying to be mean, and it's like, girl, you're trying. Like,
Yeah, stop.
don't do all
You're not
that.
mean.
Yeah. Christy asked Melissa how Abby is, and Melissa's like, she's just putting on a front here. She's having a really hard time with her mom's passing. Gia is, again, we're seeing Maddie's solo rehearsal, and Maddie's done what?
I was just gonna say a note about that. Like Abby doesn't seem like she's super affected by it. Like she seems like she's just going through the motions like normal, and even might be a little bit nicer. So she's like, she really is putting on a brave face for the kids. Like, listen, I'm going through my own shit,
whatever.
But like the kids deserve to have like a dance teacher here. So like again, like the bar is very low, but Abby definitely cleared it.
Yeah.
Jill's bangs are also insane during this scene.
I love Jill.
They were like
style
they're
superstar.
like halfway over her eyes. It looks like
the baying.
my swoop back in high school. I was just like low and ferocious.
It looks awesome.
Like she's got that shit going on.
It looks awesome for 2013.
Have I shown you that picture of Leah and Patrick, by the way? They both have insane bangs.
No, but I saw a picture on Leah's Instagram. Like, she posted a bunch of them for, like, their anniversary or whatever, and I saw one, and I was like, damn, that's crazy.
It might be the same. I'll have to show you, too.
It's insane.
It's phenomenal.
Gianna is working with Maddie, and Maddie, like, finishes her solo, and Gianna goes, it's good, even though it's off, but it's good, which made me giggle. And then we swap out and we see Chloe's solo rehearsal, and the moms upstairs are now talking about that number, and they don't love it. Like, they don't live for this like musical theater-y campy thing for
it's
Chloe.
It's cute, but it's not enough to compete with Maddie.
It's not good. Yeah. Christy kind of says the same thing. She's like,
I give
it's
up.
just not enough. Yeah. And she tells the rest of the moms that she's just giving up. She just is kind of over it and probably very exhausted.
Holly and her talking head notes, like, it's pretty clear that the pressure is getting to everyone.
Yeah.
Chloe wasn't in the video and isn't getting enough attention in her private lessons.
Sweet baby.
Yeah.
And then we see the group rehearsal, and Christy tells the moms, like, we're kind of worried about Studio Larkin. Like, I get that, but, like, what about the new girls that are coming in next week? Like, the call's also coming from inside the house. Like, we also have things to worry about at home. And then Christy brings up Sarah, the other Christy's daughter, beating Mackenzie, which is what instigated the fight in the house. And Melissa says that she feels bad and she apologized to Christy with the Y.
That's good.
Which is great. Love that.
Holly also notes, she's like, Mackenzie is not at risk.
Yeah, no.
It's
it wasn't worth getting into all of that.
Yeah.
And
Holly then says in her talking head, she's like, as difficult as she is to work with, Abby has emotions just like everyone else. She is a real person. And I, in all caps, my notes went, wrong.
Even though she pretends like she isn't, Abby is a real person.
Yeah. No,
And, Melissa, thinking about Christy with a Y, says that she just doesn't know when to shut up, which I thought was really funny coming from Melissa.
Yeah.
Incredibly ironic.
Yeah, that's a pot kettle type
For real.
Thing.
Abby, like, pulls all the girls and she's like, okay. Abby walks in the middle of this rehearsal, by the way. I forgot that she does come back just for a second. She sees the group rehearsal. And she's like, I don't really know what's going to happen this week, but I believe in you. And she, like, kind of starts to, like, get emotional. She's like, okay, bye.
She says,
like,
make the most of every moment. And then walks off.
And Nia, in her talking, it says that she feels really bad for Abby and for Mrs. Miller, which I thought was kind of sweet. And then Abby's like, I'm going to stay in Pittsburgh with my mom.
Correct.
This week I'm not going to the
As you
competition. Cut to a commercial, and then we come back, and we're at the competition, and the moms are in the green room getting ready, talking about Studio Larkin and how they're nervous and whatever.
Well, they also say, like, Larkin is using a dance that they've already done before, and
Tears
they
of an
beat the
Angel.
ALDC with, which I think that's weak shit, dude.
Also, they're doing, the number is called Tears of an Angel, which is almost exactly the same, like, look and feel as Amazing Grace. So, like, that seems a little sus.
Well, do you think they knew what it was beforehand, or are they just like, this is a dance we've done and beaten them with?
It could be both. I think a Lifetime producer probably was like, do the thing that will beat them that's also exactly like what they're doing this week.
Yeah, maybe.
The moms are, like, in the green room talking their shit, and they're like, we don't need no other team. Like, we're the fucking best.
Yeah. Well, the LDC has won 13 times in a row, and then Christie's like, well, this isn't the team that did that. Brooke and Paige were a part of that team.
Mm-hmm. Someone says something about, oh, this is the original team. And she's like, no, it's not. Brooke and Paige aren't here. period, for standing up for your best friend.
Hell yeah.
Christy says that Maddie... Okay, so there's also some drama. So Christy says that Kalani, and Maddie
Yes.
went to the Lucasia's hotel room last night. And Maddie told Chloe that she wasn't very good.
Yeah, like Chloe made a comment about like a duo, and Maddie was like, well, that's just because you're not very good.
And Christy's pissed.
Understandably so.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Jill, what's even crazier is Jill in her talking head says, Chloe, now's not the time for Chloe to get her feelings hurt. That's just how life goes.
Jill, you are the queen of getting your feelings hurt over absolutely nothing. This is perfectly legitimate to get your feelings hurt over.
Also, Chloe's a child. Like, she's allowed to have her feelings hurt about whatever. She's a kid.
Yeah.
Like, the fuck? That's so stupid.
And Jill says to her, she's like, well, we don't have mean little girls. And Chrissy's like,
like,
they're mean if they say shit like that.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
is mean, Jill.
Yeah. And Chrissy says, like, and I think the only person who can really understand my struggle here is you, and looks at Holly, and Holly's like, yup! She's like, I know that's fucking right.
Yeah, Nia constantly talks about how she feels like the fifth wheel. Like, she's just on the outside.
She compares her to Tito Jackson.
I don't know who that is. The fifth Jackson of the Jackson 5? Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
he's the Jackson brother that no one ever knows about because
there
he
you
was
go.
pushed to the back.
There you go.
Yeah. And Chrissy's like, she says to the squad, we all pretend that we're a team, but we're not. She's like, we pretend that we are, but we're not a team.
Christy says that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
She's getting pissed. Performance time. Studio Larkin.
Well, hold on, there was another comment, and Kira's like, listen, Kalani loves Chloe, which I do believe.
I believe
Kalani
that.
seems like a great little kid. And then Christy says, no, she loves Maddie since their super secret duo a while ago, which made me chuckle. And so like she's like, they're the best friends now, and all the other kids got pushed back, and then that's when she says, Holly, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
There it is.
So
Oh shit, there was something else I was gonna say.
Christy then kind of walks out, which easily could have been edited in, but it's made to look like she storms out right as this conversation's happening.
What I was also gonna say is like, I think this is a good teaching moment for your child. Even if they're not intending to be mean, this is a good lesson of it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Like Kalani and Maddie and whatever, probably not mean-spirited girls, but now as a mom, it's a good chance for you to say like, do you see how that could have hurt someone's feelings?
Right.
Even if she didn't mean it that way, it's a teaching moment.
Not like get defensive.
Yeah.
Also, Christy says, we haven't actually been a team since Kelly left. And I was like, I mean, it's okay to miss your bestie, but also like I think Kira's actually a good addition to the team.
Yeah.
Kira and Kalani are great.
I think so,
Kira had a
too.
couple like weird moments, but I think overall she is a good teammate.
Yeah, and we were fucking partying it up a couple weeks ago when we got our 11th win. We were screaming and freaking out about girl power. So like, I don't know if we've kept that energy the whole time.
Yeah.
During the performance time, Studio Larkin, like the moms are sitting behind the ALDC, which I think is really funny. They like file in and sit down like right behind them.
Also, like I presume the Larkin woman who called or texted or whatever before kind of leans in. She's like, "Hey, who's doing solos?" She's like, "Oh, Maddie."
Like, shut up.
No, I think Melissa says Maddie and Chloe, and she's like, "Oh, that's great."
Yeah.
Like, seems like a totally normal, nice.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, that's so great. Looking forward to seeing them."
Yeah, and they're like, "Fuck off!"
Those are
And
two
it's
really
like,
good-
"Oh my
yeah,
god!"
Melissa brandishes a knife.
And she's like, "Sit down." Maddie here talking, it says that she's nervous. LOL, whatever. She performs, and I know you don't watch her performances. I did.
No,
kind
we
of,
did this time. We were in DC and we watched this episode,
That
and
is
so
true.
I watched the dances.
Maddie does this cringy little smirk thing out the side of her mouth.
Well, it was
during-
perfectly in character though.
Yeah, it's like that's what my note was. Is that it's a character.
I thought
from
she was very
Cabaret.
good. And then her dance wraps up, and the Larkin woman leans forward, and she was just like, "That was so good." Like you can
Yeah.
clearly tell she's like, "That was like really good."
Yeah.
So again, what's it like having like normal, nice, friendly parents? That's
They're
wild.
so on guard that anyone who's nice, they're like, "What angle are you running?" It's like I'm
they're
just
just like,
trying
"No,
to be
that
nice."
was just great.
Yeah. We cut to a commercial and we come back. Chloe performs. It's fine. She did the best with what she had.
I didn't. She looked unnatural doing it.
Yeah. It looked weird.
We've talked about where her talents lie, and maybe she likes doing this. I did not think she looked great doing it.
No,
It didn't
agree.
seem appropriate for her.
No, not at all. The moms like go back to the green room after Maddie and Chloe's solos, and Holly and Christy say that Mrs. Miller would be proud of them. It's like very sweet. Melissa, what?
I was gonna say one thing. I feel like we've said that a lot in this episode.
What?
Like, oh, Miss Miller would be proud.
Oh,
And it's like, probably yes.
Sure.
You guys know her very well. Also, I don't love the doing someone else's thinking for them.
Sure.
All the time.
Sure.
like after someone passed away, like, oh, this is what they would have wanted. Like, unless they specifically said that, like, can you really speak for them?
Yeah.
I don't know. Usually I think it's appropriate, and the person who's saying that is usually a person that would definitely know. But I think every once in a while it gets like a little overused.
Sure.
And at this very moment, I noticed they've said that a lot in this
episode. I keep hearing that.
And it's like, maybe.
Yeah.
But you're doing a little. Let's not do everyone's thinking for them.
You keep saying that about a lot of things.
Yeah.
Eventually, you're going to run out of your purview of what you would know. Like
Yeah.
your knowledge of someone else's preferences and opinions will eventually reach its limit.
Yeah.
You're not going to know
Yes.
everything that everyone would think.
Not
Melissa,
to correct Dr. Holly, but still, this is just where it happened.
Melissa. I was going to say, like, not you correcting a woman 2 days after International Women's
Okay.
Day.
Damn it.
This poor man, Eli and Patrick really went through it because we happened to be on our trip during International Women's Day that Saturday. And boy, howdy, me and my girl Leah never let them take a fucking deep breath without reminding them that they were men. It would literally be like something as menial and as innocuous as like, instead of like keeping the door open, just like letting the door close. And I'd be like, how fucking dare you on International Women's Day not hold the... And then
that didn't happen.
And then that's an example. And then the next day, when it wasn't International Women's Day, I told Leah, I was like, we need to be like, you have 364 days until the next International Women's Day. Like, get it together. Anyway.
Gia also said, by the way, like, Miss Miller would have liked these better than any other dance ever. And I was like, yeah, right.
Okay, that's kind of a reach.
Again, don't do her thinking for her. You're just making shit up, and you want good like quotes.
And she's not here to defend herself or say anything different. Melissa calls Abby and talks about how they're all like wearing these little angel pins for Mrs. Miller. It's whatever.
Abby weirdly says, "Don't worry about anything. Just go out and be impress. Go out and be impressive or something like that."
Right.
Which
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting thing to say.
Well, that's again the opposite of what she normally does. It's usually like, the weight of your world is on your shoulders.
If you don't win, I'm gonna kill you.
This time she's like, hey, don't worry about it. Just go out, like impress yourself. Or I forget what she said. But...
G is trying to give them the same like pep talk that Abby gives, but it's not terrifying. So it, to your point earlier, like kind of falls flat. 'Cause it's like you're not really putting the fear of God in them like that.
Yeah, and Abby again said something nice. Holly then says like, it's not about a win or anything. This is a tribute to Miss Miller. And Gia almost verbatim right after that says, but also fuck that. The other competition team is coming for you, so you better go in.
Yeah, she's like, but don't forget you have bitches at home who hate your ass.
Yeah.
So you need to be sleeping with one eye open for
Don't forget
them.
that everyone's watching you and wants to kill you.
Studio Larkin goes first. They look almost the exact fucking same as the ALDC in terms of costumes. They are way older.
Yeah, these girls
like,
are all
all
like
of them
15
are
and
way
16
older.
years
Yeah.
old.
We cut to a commercial
and they're really good.
Also true. Whoops. And then we come back from a commercial and the ALDC goes. They are great. I thought they did phenomenal.
I really did too. Like, especially with we've already talked about it, such a hard musical number. Like, they were really locked in and moved so well together. They performed really well.
Yeah.
I guess the Larkin group was just like, they were just so fucking good, man.
I guess.
But of course, the group, so I normally don't watch the dances, but of course, in the group number, it still ended with a Maddie solo for a couple seconds.
Obviously.
I was just like, of course.
Okay, great. We get to the awards. Chloe's solo gets 5th, which is that bites.
When they started the awards, and she's like, in 5th place, I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah. Maddie gets first, duh. And there are 3 Studio Larkin girls that are separating Chloe and Maddie, sorry.
Yeah.
Melissa in her talking head very weirdly says that they wanted Chloe to be in the video.
She also says, I feel bad that Chloe wasn't a part of winning. Did you catch that?
No, I didn't. Quote. That is nuts,
dude. I feel bad that Chloe wasn't a part of winning.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah.
The group gets second. Meaning that the winning group or the winning streak is over.
Yeah, Larkin beat him.
And Holly is like super worried about what that means for Nia, which is a fair concern at this point.
Yeah, she thinks Nia's gonna get the blame.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Jill in her talking head is like, they couldn't have done any better. I don't know what the fuck the problem is. Like, we crushed it, whatever.
They really did, I think.
Yeah. We go back to the green room. We find out Studio Larkin has 4 15-year-olds on their team.
Yes.
That's one of the
Melissa's
reasons they did so well.
Listing it off. Like, these kids are like mature dancers.
Yeah.
They know what's up.
They're old.
And they've probably been dancing together since they were little too. So like they have
And
4 more years worth of chemistry than the LDC.
Yeah.
whose average age of that team is like 11 or 12.
Right.
Yeah. So.
And they beat the Abbey Lee Dance Company with this number last time at this competition.
Yeah, so they've
they've
been
already
doing-
known this number.
Yeah, the LDC learned theirs in 2 days.
Yeah, so it's like, what the
And
fuck?
yeah, and it was still close.
Okay, so then they call Abby and they tell her that they didn't win. And Abby shockingly says, like, that's okay. This was about Mrs. Miller and whatever.
Yeah, again, like not being shitty.
So I have some thoughts about this.
Continue.
I'm going to condense them because I know we've really been going on for a
I
long
think we
time.
got through the episode fairly quickly, actually.
This is my like thought about this. Oh, if we took grief out of this, if we took like Abby's needing to be with her mom and like paying attention to her mom's health, if we took that like out of the situation, this is a very like typical bait and switch of a manipulative partner. And to set up a pattern and then like go against your pattern is like a fear tactic that an abusive partner could use.
Yeah, it's really manipulative.
It's incredibly manipulative, and it's what we talk about all the time of moving the goalpost. Now, all of that to say, if we put the real context of what really happened in, back into the situation, Abby was probably, incredibly exhausted going through a grief process, didn't really fucking care about the number this week, and that's why she's not yelling at them. But it made my ears prick up a little bit just thinking about, like, they are living in fear of this woman constantly, right? And for her to accept second place as a good placement is not an outstanding behavior. You should accept second place as good because second place is fucking good. But the fact that the bar for her is so fucking low constantly because she's always mad, she's always shitting on the girls, nothing's ever good enough.
Yeah.
Then to them, her being proud of them getting second place is somehow this like, benevolent, gesture when really it's not. That's the bare minimum. You should be happy that there was only one other group that was better than them, period. But she's that fucking terrible that the bare minimum thing seems like an insanely positive reinforcement, and it's not.
Especially since she has yelled at them for winning before.
Correct. And again,
It wasn't by enough. Like, okay,
again,
well, where
the
are
grief
we?
probably I know it plays a big factor.
It's just
It's
confusion. Yeah.
But it's so disorienting and it's so
Yes.
frustrating, and it's what my therapist used to call crazy making, where you just don't know what weighs up and what weighs down.
Yeah, you're made to feel as though you're crazy. Exactly. And the funny thing is, well, not funny, but the moms, they, like you said, they talked about the age and everything. Christy says, we're going into the new team as losers. And Gia tries to like turn it back a little bit and says, you could hear a pin drop during the dance, which is correct. It was fucking silent in there. Yeah, and Melissa, what the hell was that?
Oh, must have been a door.
I guess, yeah. Melissa in her talking head says, oh, Abby's not mad now, but she will be. And then Gia says that same thing out loud to the room. She's like, yeah, next week, like Abby's fine now, but next week it's going to be a whole different kind of crazy. That's what she says. It's going to be chaos. Yeah. Cool.
The end.
And then it ends and it says, rest in peace. Is it Marion Lorraine Miller?
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Abby's
to be
mom.
super old, like 80 or 90.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. I
Hell
think she
of
was
a
like
run.
90. Anyway, that's the end of the episode.
Crazy.
What's your song of the week, bruh?
It's Fix You by Coldplay.
Nice. That's a good
Because
song.
one of the other numbers that the LDC beat was called Fix You. And I was like, oh, that's a great song. Also, I think the original song is good, but I've heard so many like covers of it. And some drum corps did it. And dude.
Who is it? Shout him out.
I forget, but I just remember like I ascended. I astral projected out of my body. It was...
You were watching yourself watching the video.
It was so good, dude. I'm telling you, like, the original song is great, but like every cover or iteration of it is just...
That's how you know the song's good, is if people can keep covering it and it stays...
Like
it holds
Zombie by
weight.
the Cranberries.
Or like Linger by the Cranberries.
Turns out the Cranberries are just the greatest
Turns
band of all
out,
time.
fuck with the Cranberries hard.
Have you seen the...
Probably not.
Disturbed did...
No. What?
Zombie?
No, I have not seen it.
Disturbed, the heavy metal band.
No, yeah, no.
It's good.
Slay. My song of the week is a song called Sympathy is a Knife by Charlie XCX. I have been bumping that shit recently. I was talking to a coworker of mine that with the summer coming back, I need to have another Brat summer.
Is it the one
'Cause when
featuring
was it?
Ariana Grande? Or
No.
just okay?
So just the regular one. So Charlie XCX put out an album that's called Brat, obviously, and then she put out another album that's called Brat, but it's completely different. But it's also somehow it's
But
also
it's
still
also
Brat.
still Brat, yeah.
And she remixed a lot of the songs, but she Sympathy is a Knife with Ariana Grande is like a completely different song.
Huh.
Like a lot of the remixes are just reworkings of like the song in its entirety.
Okay.
So Sympathy is a Knife without Ariana Grande. That's the one I want to plug this week.
Very good.
So,
Follow us on socials.
yep.
Send us emails. Dude, the emails been crushing it
The
lately.
emails have been crushing
actually.
it recently. That last email we've read, the last email I read, I think was one of my favorite I've ever read.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That energy was incredible.
Yeah.
Slurping down Stanley's is a
That is
hilarious
a
sentence.
crazy combination of words. I'm at Eli_farmer_ on Instagram. You are not Amanda B
_. True.
Uh,
Ig, you want to come say bye to your audience?
Go tell somebody you love them. Go,
Ig, come here.
go have a bottomless brunch and drunk text all your friends that you love them.
Oh, here we go.
Find a fat little
Puglet.
pug thing.
Come up here and say bye. You didn't even hang out even a little bit.
Come here. Are you going to go this way?
Iggy 3.
Come on. Come on.
Oh. Good girl, pig.
Say bye to your fans.
He's like, I'm going to fuck this bitch up. Okay, thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.
Goodbye.